It's great to see you again. And this was written before, Germany's looking to Qatar and other places for energy. But you're saying this will have really negative long-term implications for Russia.
Yes, exactly. I do want to say one thing, Kelly, about what Tyler was talking about before, about the energy challenges and the CEOs. One of the things that has been forgotten off the table is energy security. It was just taken for granted. We had amnesia about it. It's back on the agenda now, and we're going to see policy have to deal with it. And in a sense, that's what the Europeans are doing right now. For 50 years, they've said Russia's a reliable supplier. Last week, Putin said Russia's a reliable supplier. Forget it. The Europeans, they say Russia's an unwanted supplier and an unreliable supplier. And the pressure has really been growing to have an embargo or a ban of some kind. And I think the Ukrainians have been very effective in saying, if you buy Russian oil, you're supporting war crimes. And so I think we're going to see some kind we're getting quite close to that now. And I think that Putin, one of his many miscalculations, was assuming that the Europeans were sufficiently dependent on Russian oil and gas that they would protest, but it would be Crimea too. It would just be a cakewalk, and it'd all be done. And what a miscalculation. He's going to have a real problem selling energy to Europe in the future.
And it's not merely that he's perceived this way. It's that you make a distinction here, not just unreliable, but unwanted. And yet you also say, and I think it's absolutely correct, that energy policy is now national security policy in a way that we had forgotten.
That's right. And what's happening now is the Europeans are scouring the world. The gutter example of Germany. Germany's going to build receiving terminals for LNG. They were not interested in doing that before. We had our conference earlier this month in Houston, and we had people coming from the European Union, almost buttonholing people in the hallway saying, can you get us some more LNG? Can you get us some more gas? The big problem, though, I think is going to be oil in the immediate term, because gas is really a problem for next winter. The problem is logistics, and you're going to need governments to work with industry and business to manage this very complicated logistics system, because they are going to back away, I think, pretty quickly from Russian oil. And that means that oil has to come from somewhere else.
Actually, to that point, Dan, this morning we were talking with John Kilduff, who said he was so frustrated with the Saudis and even the UAE to some extent, wondering why they were being so recalcitrant about helping to fill the global supply gap. Can you shed any light on that?
Sure. It's really it's a political problem, really, that the gulf between the Biden administration and Saudi Arabia. Remember just in an article in The Atlantic the other day, the Crown Prince said, I don't really care what Joe Biden thinks of me. They're very preoccupied with their war with the Houthis, and there have been drone attacks, missile attacks in Saudi Arabia more this weekend, and Abu Dhabi. They think our reaction has been insufficient. And Saudi Arabia and Russia were the people who put together the OPEC Plus deal, and they're loath to walk away from that. So they're in a difficult spot. And just to add one more thing, who's their big growth customer right now? It's not the United States, it's China. So this is not like earlier decades where Saudi Arabia was willing to be the central bank of world oil, at least right now, not right now.